What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, and we're just coming to another episode of Inside the Mind of a Pred. We are on episode 2. Today, we are going to be discussing why solo players suck as teammates. This was prompted by some clips I saw on TikTok, as well as a conversation that I had with one of my homies on stream. I do want to preface this video by saying I have been a solo queue player, and I've noticed that what tends to happen is my performance kind of increases, right? But my wins don't match that per se. And so I feel like I'm more on as a solo queue player, but in time I feel like my performance in terms of wins and stuff, when I translate that with teams, don't always connect. There's not a correlation there. And one thing I kind of noticed over the years of playing solo queue and then playing with teams is that solo queue gets you into a mindset of doing more, of doing the most sometimes, of compromising the fight in a team setting. But in a solo queue setting, it's perfectly fine because you need to make those plays, right? And so I don't think it's entirely the fault of solo queue players, but making a mistake doesn't have to be conscious. We can make mistakes without knowing that we are. And so that's what this video is kind of shedding a light on. With the title being as harsh as it is, I want people to keep that in mind. Nevertheless, I do want to show the clip of me talking about this on stream because I make some pretty good points. And after that, we are going to change up the format of this video. I'm going to show the clip first and then kind of go back and break down that clip and talk about what's going on in that video. One thing we're going to look at is how to be a good teammate. Just something we're going to cover in this video, as well as positioning and some good IGL calls. But yeah, let's go ahead and play those clips, and I will see you boys inside a little bit. Peace. Yeah, it's just because you're used to playing with bots, but like you're used to playing like as a solo player, so like you just have to rewire your mind to play into a team setting. Like playing in a solo and playing in team is like completely different. That's all. Like I had the same problem like when I used to solo queue. I used to join teams. Like you have this mentality of trying to do everything in the fight by yourself, but like that's the wrong mentality in the fight. Like in a fight, you should never be trying to secure all the knocks by yourself. You should push up, get some damage off. If you take damage when you should, back off and let your teammates push up and cover for you, right? It should never be like the more you try to make it a one-man show in like a ranked setting, the more that it's gonna like fuck up your team. Like you want to make sure that you're utilizing like the pieces on your board that teammates are, right? And so solo queue is good, but like you get into the mindset of like, oh my god, look at all this damage I'm doing, how are we losing a fight? But damage doesn't always equal a win on a fight. Like sometimes you positioning or backing up or baiting somebody in can equal a knock. It's not always just about like I'm going in doing all this damage and then I'm getting knocked and like where's my team? But inherently, if you get knocked, you already pin your team one man down, which compromises the fight. And so it's better to do 100 damage and stay alive than it is to do 500 damage and get knocked, right? Because you could potentially end up losing the fight for your team. So it's just, it's just like that's just the mindset you have to have, like a teammate. That, like you gotta focus more on team play and never get too like honed in on trying to go in and do all these crazy plays as a player. Like you got a teammate, use them. I think it's important for me to clarify that I'm not advocating for never getting those 1v3 moments while you're on a team or making those clutch moments as a teammate. What I'm saying is don't compromise you or your teammates by trying to force a play or trying to do too much. It's important that whenever you are making these plays, where you are going in and potentially killing the entire team on your own, while on the team, that you're doing so without compromising yourself in your team. This is a clip from another gameplay, not the clip that I'm going to show you guys following this, but I just want to broadcast my point here by saying it's okay to go in and make those great plays, but do so in a manner where you're not compromising your team, which is exactly what I did here. Every push angle I took, I made sure I took it in a safe manner, and I ended up killing most of this team here, as you will see in this clip. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it play and let you guys see for yourself. But just keep in mind, there's a nuance between everything. It's never really black and white. There's always a gray area, but we go by generalities, which is going to keep you guys safe and keep you guys making the best play. With that being said, enjoy the clip and we'll be back.
I don't have a Digi.
Y'all watch this, I'm watching right here.
I thought that.
I hope that helped shed a little bit of light on what I was saying. Now let's go ahead and shift back to the original clip I was going to show you, which connects to the clip at the beginning of the video. This is within the same gameplay, and so now I'm going to play the video, and after I play it, we're going to go over it a bit more in depth, and so on and so on. Enjoy.
Alright, close the door. Alright, buddy.
Watch my back.
Take your time. Guns bound.
They pushing.
They're zipping, yeah.
Yeah.
Rotate the fight. I backed up.
One hit.
Ulted this.
Two.
One's on the left there, long.
Watch your back, bro.
Crack.
Keep dropping it, you guys. Crack. Dropping it, crack.
He's flush right there, you got that knock. Nice. Last dude's here.
Yeah.
Where?
Play health.
He's
You
playing
can
knock,
heal.
he's playing knock, yeah.
You can heal. You can heal.
He's just playing knock right now.
You can heal. I'm getting back to you. You can go for rest to force him to push.
Yeah, you can res. He's just playing the knock, He's not doing shit. He arced. He might be resing too. Yeah, he's resing. He can res me too. Probably. Just suck it. Oh, shit. They just res too, though.
Okay.
Underneath. Right there. Left kid's underneath, right here. Boys. That's how we do it. Let's get out. Let's get third over here. Super long fight. Prioritize health. You already know what's all I can see. Everybody getting healthy quick. Good fight, bro. Perfect fight, bro. Perfect fight. That's how we do it. Perfect fight. Alright, boys. Back into the future. So, we start off this fight pretty normally. It's just a poke fest. My homie gets fried right here. We get our bang fried. He backs up. Nothing too crazy to start this fight off. We basically just end up getting out peaked, which is important because if we get out peaked, we know they're going to push. And so the play immediately after getting out peaked here by the squad is to completely back up. This team did a good job of pushing up, using the arc stars instead of just running up. Very good play by this team. I'm gonna pause, and so like I said, I wanted to pause there to just talk about the caustic gold. And a lot of times I see people mainly try to use tools in the arsenal that are offensive in nature, only in an offensive manner. I had this conversation with someone in one of my TikTok videos talking about the caustic gold when I said that it was good. And that is to say, I told them that there were many different types of caustic ults in a way that you can use caustic gas. In this particular scenario, I used it threefold. One was that if there was a person swinging me, it would kind of put them in an isolated position, allow me to fight back on a little bit of a fair ground. 2, it gives me a smoke screen. And then 3, it simply puts my ult Akame out there, which means that I'm using the tools at my arsenal best disposed as I think so in that moment, meaning that it's better for me to use my caustic ult than it is for me to die with it in that particular situation. And so I always say, just remember those three things before you decide to save or use your ult. A, will it get you out of scenario? 2, will you die in that scenario? And 3, if you're gonna die in a scenario, it's probably best that you go ahead and get it out. Let's go ahead and continue on with these clips though. And so as we move into the pretty much ending of this fight, I kind of want to focus on, I want you guys to focus on 2 things that I do here in this clip. One is as I get pushed in the back, kind of baiting the enemy in, which is making sure that as my teammate is pulling forward, I'm playing my life, and I'm also putting him into position to where he can finish that fight without much of a hassle. Another thing to pay attention to is as I get rezzed for my caustic mains out there, you already know, throw that trap down, right? The little tip for my caustic mains. And the third thing is, I know I said 2, but there's 3, is that communicating to your teammate to bait you, right? Don't stick that res. And then also, whenever I do push, this is a tip to my solo queue players, I did not fully extend my body out with 1 HP at the bottom of my shield. I let my teammate go ahead and finish up that fight for me. And so this is what I'm talking about, difference between a solo queue player and a teammate player. Whereas a solo queue player might have went on in and tried to finish that kill and potentially get themselves knocked. Sometimes it's better to leave it to your teammates and play your life. And we ended up getting this dub on this fight. And you know, those kids were not bots at all. They definitely pushed us to the brink there a little bit, but we ended up coming out with the dub. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from that clip, and let's move on.
Oh, they're all coming up there, huh? I think we rose.
Yeah, they're coming back down. Yeah, let you niggas go first, bro. We third these kids, cause they're gonna get beamed first. Whoever goes first.
Nobody's looking, bro.
Yeah, just chill. Let them go first. They're gonna go first. Let them go first.
Not too far from ring. Got 10.
Yo.
They want to me?
He's zipping up there.
Blood on first.
The party's got.
Blood on, really 2 shot. 2 shot, blood on. 2 shot on blood on. I'm getting a thermite there. Blood on burning.
I thought we were a
burning.
rat, that's
He's
why.
burning. Yo, we gotta push it first. Let's go.
The blood.
Let's go.
Nice.
Shit.
Okay.
I ulted.
He's cracked. Keep moving, bro. Yo, shoot a zip. That's the wrong way.
There.
My shields are recharged.
You gotta get in,
Right in
bro.
front of you. Crack. He's gonna die to
Keep
zone.
moving. Yeah, keep moving.
Shot
I
fired.
got you. I told you. We're good, boys. We're good. We're good right here. Good shit, boys.
Behind you.
Looking at you.
Crack.
The rich one.
Crack.
I'm pushing.
I'm coming with you. I'm here
Yeah,
with you.
breathe. Okay, breathe.
I'm burning.
One's far.
Chill. Don't
Crack.
push too hard. Yeah, hold. The team came out.
Crack.
Came out of zone. The team came out of zone.
Swap.
The team came out of zone, boys. Feel like they're gonna drop.
Alright.
The team's out of zone.
They're
Final.
not full, are they? One of them's dead, at least, right?
Pushing up. It should be here.
There's a Kraber team. Yeah, there.
I'm gonna get knocked here, but I gotta get covered.
He's pushing you.
Popping the back. Smoke. Be careful, don't get knocked here. Don't get
One
knocked.
Nah.
Play slow. Play slow.
Good shit.
Yeah, play hold, bro.
He still hits.
You still got bangoed or no?
I don't.
Taking a knee. Patching up.
Alright, yeah. Alright, boys, back to the future. Keep it on theme with the video, boys. We just focus on being a good teammate. All right, making good team plays. We end up fighting this team here. I wanted this team to rotate so we could just kind of pop them in the back, but that didn't end up happening. They ended up popping some shots at us. We get a overextended Bloodhound with the fattest head in the game deciding to peek. We love to see that. We got a nice little thermite on them. This fight's nothing too special. Just another good example of me not overextending, playing my angles, making sure that I'm not going down, which is showcased right here. Instead of just pushing up, gonna get a little pre-aim, gonna use that work as cover instead of just pushing up there and getting beat boop one magged. Got a nice little zip by Tear. I wanted to go somewhere else, but it's all good. I mean, it ended up being a good zip, no biggie. Also focus on the focus shift here. We knew this team was in zone, so we went ahead and fought the team that was in front of us. Always prioritize the nearest threat, or I should say the threat that's the most threatening to you, which is what we did here. We knew this team was going to have to rotate out in zone. They're going to be weak, so we're going to make sure we take this fight over here. Pay attention to me not overextending whenever I push up on this rock, right? I'm going to use my caustic gas and use my abilities. Alright, okay, we're not going to overextend. We know they're weak. Gonna pop a couple shots there. Not going to swing in that corner, right? Going to use that gas. As soon as I see that that team's done, going to start popping some bats. It's just a masterclass, boys. Playing smart, man. Not overextending until this particular moment. Now, this was almost a sketchy moment here, right? I didn't see that dude going behind the rock, but this could have been bad. If I was playing against this dude is relatively good, this could have been a bad moment right here, pushing up right here. That could have been a knock, right? If I got swung by one or two teammates. But once again, now that I'm weak, I'm not gonna over peak. Just gonna hold my angles. Teammates gonna come up. Look at that. Look at them go. Look at them go. Look at them finish that fight. Look at the teammates, bro. Like, look at the teammates, man. And we ended up winning this fight, and that is the second fight. We're gonna be going into the third fight, which is the last fight of the game. Let's just jump straight into it, boys. All right. So this is the last fight of the game. I am not gonna go over this clip whatsoever. I'm gonna leave this interpretation open to you guys, using what we went over in this video and what you guys may know. Point out any mistakes that I made, and what you guys see with being on theme with everything we talked about in this video. You guys got it, bro. Take this information, go into your games today, and go crazy. It's your boy Ninja Peanut, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace. Hold this angle with me. Hold that
5
angle
seconds.
Here. 1, 2, 3, just good.
50 height. We gotta go in.
Yeah, get inside the building.
Bad.
Somebody's one. Super low.
Inside the hill, bro.
Behind.
Nice.
Come to me.
He's on.
Play slow, bro. Play slow. You can go for rest.
That's the seed.
I think it's solo. I don't know, bro.
I knocked one.
Oh wait, there's a.
one.
Yeah.
On the roof, maybe.
It's alright, I think.
I guess I get pickups.
One shot on roof. He's weak one. He's one shot on roof, bro. 50 HP on roof. 50 HP on roof. Don't cover.
Swap shit.
First game on, baby. Let's get it.
Nice, baby.
Never make a bad call in my life. Fucking go.